What am I up to now? 4x8 piece of material here. Now I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna unload this thing. I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm actually gonna unload it straight from the truck by myself. But I'm gonna open it up and take it out piece by piece. They used a forklift. I'm gonna use 2 hands, baby. Let's go. I'm just gonna be laying out the skids. So this does come with a floor. Some of them don't. You have to pay a little bit extra for the floor. I think I paid $1,500. I'll put the price up on the screen, but you don't want the floor to be touching the ground, the foundation basically. So you put this on the floor first and it'll raise it up off the ground, but obviously I gotta level it. The ground is uneven here. And that's all I'm gonna do today. Maybe I'll start unloading some of this. I wasn't thinking ahead and I put the freaking brick that I need for this underneath the pallet so it wouldn't be leaning so much. Didn't really help at all, but whatever. I happen to have an extra one that I found, so I got 4. So now I'm just gonna measure this out 6x8. I'm gonna space these out 6 feet apart, and they should be 8 feet long, so I don't have to worry about that. And then get it level. Let me level out these bricks first. All right, I am back square again because I moved it a little bit, and all of my pavers are pretty much flat. They're not perfect, but it's okay. And I need to come up about, I don't know, I think it's like 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch over here. So I got these shingles that I'm gonna use. Maybe just like one more. You can see my stack of shingles there. I got about 5. So we gotta do the backside now. We're off about the same. All right, there we go. I ended up using a brick instead so that I don't have to come up so much. But I ended up taking one out from here, so I think I'm gonna go with another brick on this side. I am now square and level. Let's put this floor on. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not gonna put the floor on. We're just gonna try to unpack some of this and see what we got. See if I even need to read the instructions. All right, well, this is where I left off yesterday, last night, before it got dark. I basically unpacked the truck, unloaded the truck, took everything out, kind of tried to organize things. I got all the trim here in this pile, all the 2x4s and 2x3s in that pile, the roofing, the pallet, and the side walls, stuff like that. There's the floor over there. So I built the floor yesterday. Oh, this is not the floor. This is just the floor foundation. So the floor isn't actually on the ground. So yeah, it's gonna be a 6x8. You can see short 6x8 on that side. And then this is all the trash I was left over. So today I'm gonna start on building the floor. But first, I must read the instructions. So the first mistake I've made is this is in the wrong direction. These are actually not, like, I don't need those 2x4s on the side there at all. That was just to help me. This doesn't actually need to be square. The floor frame does need to be square, but the frame is just sitting on top of this. So doesn't necessarily need to be perfectly square. The other thing is that since my door is going to be over here, these need to be turned this way, so they need to be going like this because the frame is going to go like that. I need to redo this. I can get rid of these. I don't need those at all. And actually the floor frame needs to sit 12 inches in from the edge of the 4x4. That is a big deal, so I need to fix that. And I also need some framing nails that are for pressure treated wood, because you don't want to put regular nails, they'll just rust. You need to use special nails that are for pressure treated wood. So I need to pick up a 1 pound box of 3-inch nails and a 3-pound box of 2-inch nails. So I'm gonna head over to Home Depot and grab those nails. And I'm also gonna grab 3 2x4s that are 8 foot long, because it's optional. When you build your frame for the floor, they have them set 2 feet apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. These dark colored ones, 1, 2, 3, those are optional, and that'll set your framing for the floor 12 inches apart, which will make it a little bit more sturdier and, you know, more solid. I mean, I'm just going to be standing in here. It's just going to be me, maybe one other person, and a desk. It's not going to be a lot of heavy stuff, but in the future I might use it for some heavy stuff. So let me show you what they give you. This is the pressure treated wood. It says it's supposed to be marked pressure treated. I'm assuming that's what these marks are right here. I don't know what that means. SPIB stud, but if you look closely, they're a little bit of a darker shade than, let's say, these ones right here. These are like more white pine. This is pine, but it's got some chemicals in there. So there should be 6. 4 of these, 2 of these. So I'm gonna go pick up 3 more 8 foot 2x4s that are pressure treated, because those are the ones that are going to be closest to the ground. The rest, they don't need to be pressure treated. You can see how white that wood is. That's going to be for the walls and stuff. Same thing with these two. So let me head over to Home Depot, continue on. And it says I need a 3-pound box of 2-inch nails, and they don't sell them. They have 5-pound, and those are 6-inch. Closest I could find 2-inch is 1-pound boxes. So I'm gonna just get 3 boxes of these. These are $8.55, and then I'm gonna get, it says 1 pound of 3-inch nails, and even has a picture of a shed. So these are hot dip galvanized, 60. $8.55 times 4, I'll just round it up to 9, say $36 because of tax and stuff. All right, so I got 3 pieces of pressure treated here, 8 foot. They do have a thing where they'll cut it for you, but I just asked the guy and he said they don't cut pressure treated wood. So no big deal, I can do that at the house, but just trying to save myself some work. We're loaded up. Head back home. Got my nails, got my pressure treated lumber. Here in California, this is what pressure treated lumber looks like. It's pretty dark red. The other stuff I have is pressure treated, but you can barely tell. Probably because they don't put that much chemicals in it, because they're trying to save money. But anyways, here's all the other parts that they give you. They did give you a bunch of nails and stuff like that, but these are more like finished nails. The stuff I got is hot dip galvanized, treated for outdoor. All right, back from Home Depot. I basically just need to start over because I got to redo this whole thing. All squared up now, at least in terms of the runners. Let me put a block underneath the middle of both of them, just give it some more support. The other thing is, you're supposed to put bracing every 48 inches. So from that paver right there to that one should be less than 48 inches. You do not want more than that in between each support. So I went ahead and did that. 48 inches is 4 feet. So we're plenty good. The distance from end to end is 6 feet. And then the distance from that end to this end is 8 feet. So if I would have left a gap in there, that would have been 6 feet of gap. So anyways, yeah, so we're good now. Like I said, you'll notice that the 4x4s do not come to the very end. They go 12 inches in from the end. The other piece is that what I did do is make it flush here. So it is flush to the end of here, but from here to here it's 12 inches. So technically this should be good. Now I can start building my floor and attach it to these runners. That's the way it's supposed to look. And another mistake I made is that when I was doing all this, I had the 2x4s laying flat. So when I stood them up, they're not at the end anymore. It's okay, they don't have to be, so that's fine. Now I just got to put the 2 more braces in here. That's the instructions say, but you have the option of adding more bracing. So the instructions say these are going to be 48 inches apart, right here and right here, but I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, so they're 12 inches apart. So that's going to make it a lot sturdier. All right, I made another mistake. I put the wrong pieces on the side like a big dummy. I put the 93 inches on there. That's how long the ones in the front are. So the ones on the side are actually supposed to be 72 inches, that short piece there. Just like it says in the instructions. I'm not paying attention. This is a 6x8 shed. So the front of it is gonna be 8 feet and it's gonna be 6 feet deep. So this is like almost a square right here. I knew something was not right, but I don't know what was going on with my mind. What that means is that these runners are gonna be sticking out a lot actually. Because these are 8-foot runners. So I don't know if I'm gonna just cut the ends off of them or what, but anyways, I'll figure that out later. All right, here we are. It's day 3. I still haven't finished this shed yet. Haven't even started on it really. Let me show you what I've gotten done so far. That's it, just that. But I think I can put the floor on next, so let me double check the instructions before I do anything. All right, so I just went ahead and straightened out the pavers underneath there, centered them on the blocks. I just noticed I need to fix this one here, but centered that one up, center that one up, so they're all pretty much lined up. Just gotta do this last one here. Go. So now we gotta do next is we gotta put the floor on, I think. Pretty good. I'm surprised how square it came out. All right, let's put the other piece on. Pretty good. All right, now it's time to nail the floor down with these 2-inch nails. See how it's smooth right here? Bodywork hammer. Nail hammer, construction hammer, has a rough edge so it doesn't slip. Now it's saying every 12 inches for the inner one, but then where they butt up next to each other, it's every 6 inches. All right, I think the floor is done. My floor is now assembled. So I guess I've got to build the walls. That'll be tomorrow.